All right. Bungie has just confirmed that they issued yet another false ban wave, and this time it affected one of the biggest Destiny 2 content creators in the space in the last year. If you don't know, we previously covered a video about Aegis Relic getting their account banned in Destiny 2. Now, a lot of people were confused by this. If you haven't seen Aegis Relic's content on YouTube, they do a ton of challenging endgame content. They're regularly speedrunning, and they just don't really have the persona or the type of personality that you'd think they would be cheating in the game. Now, we have been wrong about this in the past. You know, we've talked about the EK ban, we've talked about the Bak and Gangsta ban, but for the most part, you know, when people get banned, we can kind of get a hint of like, okay, yeah, they were doing some shady stuff, so it makes sense that maybe they got banned type of thing. But Aegis Relic is an exception. No one really thought that they would have done anything to get banned, and they even went through a detailed explanation saying that, you know, hey, you know, I do use the wish wall macro, which is an allowable macro in the game. It just makes the symbols, it just shoots the proper symbols so you can get to Riven instantly. It takes like, it saves you like a minute at most, and this has been allowed and it's been confirmed by DMG, who's the community manager. And then they talked a little bit about they have like a boss health bar overlay, and so they were wondering why they were banned. And a week later, they have now been unbanned by Bungie, and we have this message here from the Destiny 2 team. So it wasn't just an individual ban, it was actually a small ban wave. We have investigated several ban appeals and determined there was an issue with some data being sent from the game to our detection tools that resulted in a small number of false positive bans. We have unbanned the players affected and issued a change to prevent further false positives. There you have it. It was just a false positive when it came to that ban. So now they have been unbanned. They actually reposted this, and just before that, they actually said that their account was unbanned. So they're back in the game now. They didn't do anything. I know a ton of people, this man went through hell the last week because as soon as he got banned, a lot of people were saying, you know, oh, he probably did this, he probably did account recoveries. I think that people said there was like a pay spin. It was like a fake pay spin saying about how he was like a wanted criminal and a fugitive. Like, this man has just gone through it all in the last week, you know? So send Aegis Relic some love if you do follow him on any social media, because it's kind of crazy when you're down, right? People love to dogpile on top of you and just completely, you know, pour it on and make it as difficult for you as possible. Now, obviously, in this situation, they were perfectly innocent, and it was definitely unwarranted, any of the hate or harassment. And as always, anytime I cover stuff like this, don't ever send people harassment. We're just talking about the news. We're talking about trending topics. We're talking about the stuff that's going on in the game, and we're doing so in a way where we're trying to be respectful to all parties involved. That includes Bungie. We're trying to be respectful to them. You know, we may poke a little bit of fun at them. We may poke a little fun at Pete Parsons' car collection from time to time. But overall, we're trying to be respectful to Bungie, and we're trying to be respectful to the individuals that are banned. Whether they're unbanned or not, we're still going to be respectful. But let's move on to the last part here. Bungie actually apologizes. We apologize to anyone who was hit by this issue. We take game security seriously and are determined to detect and remove cheaters while safeguarding against false positives. But we will be transparent and work quickly to issue fixes when we identify them. So you get an actual formal apology from Bungie to those individuals that were involved. Obviously, Aegis Relic was one of them. So if you were previously banned in the last week, make sure to check, because you may have been unbanned. You may have been one of those false positives. A lot of people come to me from time to time. I shouldn't say a lot, but maybe once a week or once a month, someone comes to me and says, hey, Lucky, I got my account banned. I did absolutely nothing wrong. What do I do? Make sure if you do get your account banned that you put in an appeal on the website that Bungie has, bungie.net. Put in your appeal. That's your best chance at getting it. I don't have any special power. I don't work at Bungie. I don't have any sort of crazy connections. No one has that type of power. You know what I'm saying? No one can just like DM a Bungie person and be like, hey, unban my friend, you know, Blueberry Bob 8231, right? That's not a thing that anyone has the power to do. So all you can do is just put in your appeal and hope that Bungie does review your account and get you unbanned. However, it should be said that Bungie's banning process, as it stands right now, is absolutely barbaric and complete garbage, right? They are banning people left and right, and sometimes it's false this is not the first time we've had a bunch of false positive ban waves. This has to be like the third or fourth time in the history. Like, how many times are we gonna do this, Bungie? Like, we gotta get better at not banning the people that don't deserve getting banned. And we should also, I've said this many times, we've talked about Bungie's like policy in terms of bans. We should give people a reason why. We should send them an email. We should say, hey, you were banned for this reason. This is what you did on this date. You did this thing. You know, downloaded freaking Ring 1, or I guess Ring 1 got taken down, so whatever, Ring 2, whatever the cheats are called these days, right? Whatever the kids are using out there with their Cronus Zims and all that, right? You got caught using this, you got banned for those reasons. You got banned for whatever you did. Maybe you typed some crazy slurs in the text chat. Whatever it was you did, you should be given a reason why you got banned. There should be an email sent to you, so that way you can have something to be like, okay, well, this is the reason, this is what I did, this was my offense. And then you have some way of like responding back, you know, and being like, okay, well, I don't know why I was banned. It shouldn't have happened. Like, or I didn't actually do this, or whatever it may be, you know. And I don't know why Bungie doesn't do this. I don't know why they don't want that transparency. It feels like it's a level of like difficulty. Obviously, it's going to cost them more resources and more money, and obviously, you know, it's not going to be cheap or easy to do this, but it would add a level of respect, in my opinion, to Bungie's ban process, because when you work so hard, just think about this. Aegis Relic has like a god roll of every gun in the game. Every gun in the game. We're talking about thousands and thousands of hours down the drain in an instant. He just woke up one day and his account was gone and has been gone for a week. All of that falsely taken away from him. That feels really scary, especially when you're not given any sort of transparency, you're not given any sort of warning. Like, you gotta send some emails out, Bungie. You really gotta rework how you do these things. This would really win the good faith of the community, where they feel like, okay, just in case this happens to me one day, you know, I at least have some good faith from Bungie that they're gonna send me an email and they're gonna have a timestamp of, you know, when you did this thing. You know, they have all this data, they have all this information. Behind the scenes, inside Bungie HQ, I've been there several times. They have all the data, they have all the information, they have charts of everything, they can see everything on the back end, they have all of that, and they have excellent tools to properly find and utilize what happened. They know exactly what you did, they know how many hours you play every day, they know everything, right? They know all the data about what you do inside Destiny 2, and they could definitely give you a very detailed email if they do ban you, and it would be so much better, especially for a system like this, where people get false positives. People could respond and actually be able to, you know, make a proper case for themselves, maybe get unbanned, things of that nature. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think Bungie should actually send out emails? And do you think that this false positive ban wave, do you think that an apology is good enough? Do you think that they've actually rectified the situation? I wonder if there's been times when Bungie has issued false positive ban waves and hasn't reverted them. I don't know what's ever happened in the past. I don't even want to think about that, because that feels really scary, really frustrating to think about, putting all that time and effort into Destiny 2 and losing everything all over that. So make sure whatever you're doing, no matter what, however you're playing the game, make sure you are paying attention to those terms of service. They do have them on the website. Everything's up there, what you can and can't do. I would recommend, if you do care about your account, make sure you follow the terms of service as close as possible. That's what I do, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get banned. I'm not trying to wake up one day with a not so fast on my screen or anything like that. And so I'm always following the terms of service, and, you know, it's just, it goes without saying, you know, you're trying to follow the terms of service because you care about your account. If you don't care about your account, you're going to be doing some crazy stuff. And that's a wrap on this one, though. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.